My name is Daniel Wright, and this is the story of the day I realized that sometimes the most painful battlefield is not out in the world. It is inside your own home. For most people, home means warmth, comfort, safety, belonging. For me, it used to mean that too. I left home at 19 with one belief in my heart. No matter what happened in life, my family would always be my safe place. Years passed. Life happened. Sacrifices, struggles, mistakes, growth. I was not perfect, but I always tried. I worked hard. I supported them whenever they needed help. I sent money when they asked. And deep inside, I believed that one day things would finally feel normal again. Then one evening, everything changed. 3 weeks before Christmas, I opened my phone and saw a message. "Daniel, we think it's better if you don't come this year. Things have been tense. It's easier if you stay away." There was no "we love you," no "we'll miss you," no explanation, just rejection wrapped in polite wording. I stared at the screen for a long time, that strange moment when your brain understands but your heart refuses to. I didn't argue. I didn't beg. I didn't get angry. I simply typed one word back: okay. And that was the final kind of okay, the kind that breaks something inside you forever. People always talk about loud betrayals, cheating, big fights, public humiliation, but they never talk about the quiet betrayals, being excluded, being unwanted, being treated like an inconvenience. Those betrayals do not scream, they echo, and that echo follows you everywhere. A few days later, I was going through some old digital files. I just wanted distraction. That's when I found something unexpected, an old legal document. Years ago, I had co-signed their house to help family when they could not afford it. Back then, they called me a blessing, a hero, the one they could always count on. I never really paid attention to what I signed, but this time I read it carefully, very carefully, and I froze. In the event of non-payment, the secondary signer gained controlling ownership of the house, which meant, while they were pushing me out emotionally, legally, I now owned more of that house than they did. The same house they told me not to come to, the same house they said I did not belong in. Life has a strange sense of irony. I didn't celebrate. I didn't laugh. I just went quiet. Because for years they needed me. For years I showed up. For years I supported them and stayed loyal. Yet when I needed love, they locked the door. So this time, I didn't knock. Then the calls started. Fear replaced confidence. Panic replaced arrogance. Suddenly, my presence mattered again, not because they loved me, but because they needed something from me. But I wasn't that same boy anymore. I wasn't the emotional punching bag. I wasn't the backup plan. I was finally a man who knew his worth. I didn't evict them immediately. I didn't try to destroy them. I didn't scream like the pain inside me wanted to. Instead, I did something harder. I chose boundaries. I took legal control. I stopped being their emergency bank account. And for the first time, they felt what I had felt for years: uncertainty, fear, consequences. Eventually, they left quietly. No apology, no dramatic reconciliation, just silence. The kind of silence that happens when people finally realize they pushed too far. I stood in that empty living room, sunlight through the window, dust floating in the air, total quiet. And what I felt wasn't victory. It was peace, not revenge, healing. That house was no longer going to be a place of pain, so I turned it into something better, a rehabilitation and support place, a refuge for people who needed belonging, just like I once did. People ask me, "Don't you feel guilty?" No, I feel free, because sometimes life does not give you pretty endings. Sometimes there is no apology. Sometimes family never becomes who you needed them to be. But you still have a choice: break or build. And I chose to build. So if you have ever felt unwanted, uninvited, or unloved by the people who were supposed to protect your heart, listen to me. You are not hard to love. You were just loving the wrong people. That day, I did not lose a family. I found myself. And sometimes, that is the most powerful victory of all.